Hey, what's going on, folks? I hope y'all can hear me. Hope you're doing well. I'm unbelievable, but this is, I guess you could say, a little bit of pre-show for tonight's hangout on air that we call Point and Shoot. I've got my esteemed guests invited, but apparently they can't get in for whatever reason. So I'm working on that right now, as well as I had to change venues, if you will, and throw up my up real quick so y'all are ready for the technical difficulties. Let's see. Does this work? And we are live right now, by the way. So when you pop in here, you know this is real. All right, now it looks like he's popping in. Anybody else that I need to invite? Uh, okay, so Mr. King is there. And Mr. King, just so you know, we are live on air right now. We are live, by the way, just letting you know.
Okay. Just now I'm just turning my Pandora off. Let me get back over here.
Let me see if anybody else was popping in before I get rolling.
Okay. I don't know why I didn't get your invite until just then.
It's 8:15.
Let's see. All right. Looks like it's just me and you for now, which is all good. I don't see anybody else listed there. Okay. All right. But before we get started, you know, I got to get squared away with getting the screen together and all of that, because right now I'm shooting this from the Chromebook in my room, so I don't have all of my tools here. Just had to do a quick change of venue.
No problem. I'm bringing up the event. Where is it? Here it is. Also, let me get my community page back up. I put some pictures in it.
What in the world just happened?
I'm not in the hang. I mean, I don't have the hangout window up, so I don't know.
Everything's freezing right now. There it goes.
Uh-oh. That's not good. There they are.
Now we got 7 photos submitted this week, so
right.
Let me take a quick look at the counts.
Looks like Nicole is once again a winner. You did pretty good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, where is it? Here it is. Yeah. Oh, take it back. You came up to 6 now, so I think we have a tie.
Of course.
No, Nicole got 7.
Okay, good. You show 7? Yeah, I see 7 as well.
And so. Timothy McCusker and you tied for 2nd.
I see 7, 6, and 5.
Okay.
7, 6, and 5. Okay.
Yeah, you came in 2nd.
All right. Cool. Well, let me pull up the notes.
Why are you on your Chromebook?
I had to hop back and do it from my room tonight, so I got some other stuff going on.
Ah, okay, no problem.
All right, so
I can hear you typing too.
you hear the tapping on the trackpad.
Uh-huh. And every
All
time
right.
you touch the trackpad, it's like sandpaper. Oh
Yes, I
well.
didn't. That's another thing. I didn't bring a mouse back here like I normally would have. And then I got these huge rough hands. Lovely, I know. All right, so you about ready to get started?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So for those that are watching and have been watching for the last, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 minutes, welcome. This is the weekly hangout on air with the smartphone photographers community. We like to call this point and shoot. In this hangout, each and every week and within the community, we talk about different ways to make you a much better smartphone photographer. Because believe it or not, you don't have to spend three, four, $5,000, $2,000 on a camera to get really good photos. You don't have to do that. You can use the cameras that are in these little thingies right here. In my case, it's a Nexus 6, and figure out the way to get the most out of the optics and software that's on these things. We'll show you how to do that. It takes a little patience, and sometimes it's really easier than it looks. But we'll
Mm.
discuss different tips like that inside of this community and inside of this hangout every week. Um, Tonight we're joined by my man, Mr. Michael King. Say hello, Mr. King.
Hello, Mr. King.
Oh, she's smart ass.
Well, it's better than being a dumb one.
Good, good. How you doing,
Well, I
brother?
got, well, I got to keep my spirits up because if I go off the air, we are just south of some serious weather
You
that's
keep making
moving
it
in.
more. You're making it more and more easier for me to not move to Houston. I appreciate that.
Well, this is springtime is when we do get it, and
Right?
this is our tornado season. But then by May, it's over, and then we may or may not have a hurricane. We never know.
Of course. Tis the season.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
but it's
appreciate you joining us as always, my man. Um, and again, to the folks that are watching, I apologize for the poor video quality. This is not the typical camera, but it's going to have to do for tonight. Um, let's go ahead and get into this week's discussion. Um, Yours truly, me, I won the photo challenge last week. We had to do, I believe it was called lifestyle portraits, basically portraits that depicted a lifestyle, whether it's you or a portrait of someone else. Whatever the subject matter was, it had to depict a lifestyle in general. And I lucked out and won with one of my shots. Appreciate the votes on that. So, being the winner, that means I get to choose the following week's challenge. I couldn't really think of anything clever, creative, if you will, because I'm not a clever and creative guy.
I
But
would I wouldn't say that.
no, I'm far from it, brother. But I appreciate that. But I did think about a previous event that we, as a community, this is probably a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, because our community is growing in age. But as a community, we sort of struggled with it. And number one, I can barely say it. Number two, I can barely spell it at times. But we're going to try this again. It's called chiaroscuro. Chiaroscuro.
You can say it better than I can.
And that particular type of photography, the meaning behind it is basically you take your subject matter or your image of what no, definitely your subject matter, and you want to incorporate going from light to dark within it, you know. And generally, no, actually it's more like from dark to light and then back to dark. So you're going to get a lot of shadows. You're going to get a lot of just sort of dark. It doesn't even have to be in black and white. It's just the idea of having it dark in one spot of in one area of the subject, and then some really defined light, and then back to a really defined dark in it. Personally, I find it easier to do that in black and white. But again, you don't have to do that in black and white. You can do it in color. Just take some time to set up your different lighting. You can use your lamps. You can use other phones flashes and set those up to the side. You can use the natural sunlight and some shade here and there. It's a lot of different ways to do it. You just sort of have to get creative and figure out what shot you're trying to get and how you're trying to harness the light, if you will. So I'm going to try to share my screen here, and let's see. Let's pull up the pictures, and we're going to take a look at some of the highlights, if you will, from this week's challenge. So we'll do screen share, and we'll do that right there, and share. All right, Mr. King, you're going to have to be my eyes and ears since I'm not on my double monitors. Do you see my screen? My screen look okay?
Yep.
All right, great. So I'm going to pick on a couple of these shots here. We got 7 submissions. First of all, thank you to the community for your participation. Appreciate that. But we'll go through a couple of these as examples and discuss them. We'll go with my man. He's a new guy, I believe, a newer member. Hopefully it pulls up. There we go. Marcelo Alejandro Garena. First of all, thank you for your shot and welcome. And next, I'm going to look to make sure your camera is good. And yes, it does look like it's good, because the last time we had someone on here that was fairly new and we pulled up this shot, they had I believe it was a Canon that they used. You remember that happening, Mr. King?
It was a Canon or an Icon.
Yeah, it was like, no, that's cheating, brother. Not happening. Anyway, let's take a look at Mr. Marcelo's shot here. What it looks like is a big rig or 18-wheeler, depending on where you're from, but it's a toy. This is not something you're going to see outside in the parking lot. If you do, it's probably destroyed. But this is clearly a toy. And he really does have the idea down with chiaroscuro. Why? Because he has all of this dark black right there. I mean, it is just from dark, and then it gets to the object, and then the object has white and light on it, just enough to show you what this thing is. And then it fades out, as you can see going down the hood of this toy. It begins to fade to black, and because these different areas are raised on that toy a little bit, they show some light a little more, and then it goes back to black. Very nicely done from the aspect of getting chiaroscuro. And shout out to Deborah Walmer-Basimbi for introducing us to this challenge, way back when. And I hope I'm not making her scratch her eyes out by saying this word wrong. I'm sorry.
But, you probably got it right, but if she's doing anything, she's screaming her lungs out, calling you every name in the book.
But of course. But with this shot, though, I didn't vote for it. Yes, it does give you chiaroscuro, but it didn't really strike me. It didn't stand out, if you will. Is there anything that he could have done different? From my standpoint, I might have tried to shoot this particular toy head on, because I like when I see big trucks out in the public anyway. I love the way the front of the grills look on these things. They look so massive and menacing. And so if I was to see something like that in a chiaroscuro and have that grill be the big highlight of it, and the rest of it sort of looks mysterious and just barely peeking through in the shadows, man, I would dig that a little more. But, I mean, it's a nice shot, but that's something that I would have done differently. The cropping is fine. I can't think of anything else. What about you, Ms. King? What do you think?
I have to agree. Yeah, you also get the grill look. Do it from like a car. You're just recreating the movie Duel. If you remember that one way back when with
someone's telling their age.
Oh, hey, I'm almost 57, so that was with McLeod. Oh, what's his name? Dennis Weaver. That was a hell of a. I've got it on DVD.
You got it on VHS somewhere. You ain't gotta lie.
No, I got DVD and I got it on VHS, and I have it.
Nice.
I hit on something else. 3 other things: beta,
Oh
laser,
gosh,
laser vision, and
so
that
sad.
and
Such a nerd.
and the RCA. Remember the CED disc?
Yep.
I've got it on
Very
that.
good. But getting back to the shot though, so you were thinking maybe changing the angle, anything
Yeah,
like
I
that?
think you're right. If you had a head on with all this, it'd been a little. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't vote for it either because it was. I would have preferred to see the grill work as well.
Hmm. Okay.
So it's
All right.
it hit the mark. It hit the mark perfectly.
All right. So I'm gonna see if I can grab another shot to take a look at. Let's go to my man Tim McCusker. He's got 2 in here that he submitted, but we'll go with the one that got the most votes. All right.
And his Lego.
Yep. Now, for those of you that don't know Mr. Tim McCusker, first off, Tim has a bunch of different phones. I like to tease him about that every now and then. But
Which one did he use?
Tim is also a guy that enjoys the world of Lego. And if he's not shooting some great photography outside in the Vegas area or showing off his beautiful daughters, he's shooting something with Lego. And I've always found it fun and interesting to see what he comes up with. Now, this time he used a One Plus One, and that freaking camera on that phone really does amaze me. I've seen some other One Plus One shots here recently, and that camera and the people that can really use it, they get a lot of power out of that thing, man. But this one, he used a One Plus One, and he did some editing in Photoshop Express. Still haven't gotten around to Photoshop Express myself. Have you?
On the iPad, yes. On the phone, no, because I like to be able to edit. Unlike a certain Portis, who's a
Hmm.
slacker, I like to use the desktop or at least a bigger screen to see. Ooh, that's too grainy. Let me,
Right,
because if I try to edit it on the phone and put it up there, and then when I put it on a bigger screen, it looks horrible. So
right.
I like to at least use an iPad. If not, I like to edit it on the full Lightroom or Photoshop
Of course.
CS,
Right.
and then send
Okay.
it back up. In fact, what
Yeah,
I
like
end up
we all
doing,
do this.
in fact, if you want a little bit of workflow, when I do that, I use that, since the iOS and Yosemite has the what you call it, AirDrop. I'll AirDrop it from my phone to the computer. Then I go back when I get it edited. I go back from my computer to the phone. Then I put it up to the group on the
Then you
phone.
share it up from the phone. Yes.
So that's how
No,
I
that
generally
makes
do
sense.
that.
All right. So with this
But
shot here, he's got a Lego in here, and it is in portrait mode, not your landscape mode that a lot of folks like to use here. And it works because it gives this thing some serious, massive size, if you will, to be a Lego. It makes this Lego look larger
big.
than what it really is. You know what I mean? We all know a
Oh yeah.
Lego is probably a half inch, sometimes an inch tall. But this thing looks large and menacing, and the way he has it with going from the dark right here to where it pretty much blacks out his face, except for the few features around his helmet area, and then to show the shoulder
In the
and the
hand.
arm and the hand of it. Um, I don't know about you, but this is how my thought process on this one. Let's imagine this as someone in general, not a particular toy. Let's imagine this as a soldier, if you will, a man standing there or a woman with a helmet on, and then you get to see the shoulder right here, and the way the shoulder is hitting the shadows there, it sort of rounds it off, gives it like a muscle tone, if you will, and it just shows some strength. You know what I mean? It shows
Hmm.
a little badass to it. And then it totally blacks off again. So again, he's getting the light to hit, just in the right spots to where we can tell what it is, but we also wonder what it is at the same time. giving it a little bit of mystery behind it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just very, very crisp and clear. Um, I'm impressed. He's got such a small file size that you see over there.
Oh,
Now, anything that I would have done differently on this shot, I can't say there's anything I would have done differently. I like the layout here. I like the fact that he has this piece lit up at the bottom that shows his feet, so that gives you a little more information on the size of this thing. You know, nice job, Tim. Definitely got a vote from
yeah.
me on this one here. What do you think?
And if you want to keep going that thought, saying if it's a soldier, what's in that other hand? You can't
Right.
see it.
You
You don't
can't
know if
see
he doesn't know if it's a grenade launcher, a rifle, shotgun,
it.
hand grenade, and it just makes you wonder. Okay, what's he up to? Type thing.
Right.
It just makes you wonder. But no, I voted for it too because it really hit it. Again, McCluster can hit one out of the park, and he hit a grand slam.
Good shot.
It just happens to be one's a little bit better than his.
Yeah. Now this one here, this is another one of his shots. We'll take a quick look at it, but this again is with Lego, and I like
It's the
this
same
one
guy.
okay. Yeah, I like this one okay. I didn't particularly care for the texture and the background there, but it still works though. It's still a nice
Oh
shot.
yeah, oh yeah. I like the head-on one a little bit better. This one's a good
Yeah.
shot. This
And
one's not
see,
the home run. This is just a single.
and Sweeney makes a good point here. He says he's making depth with the shadows, and he
Mm-hmm.
does. I mean, it
Oh
does
yeah.
look like this thing is further behind, gives it a nice depth of field. But again, I like the other one better. So, all right, so now we'll take a look at another one, which happens to be mine. See that okay, brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're dominoes. Your chess.
No, it's a chess set, of course.
I know.
Little mini
I know.
chess set.
I'm.
Little mini
You know.
chess set.
I like that. Again, you hit a home run.
See, and well, thank you.
It's one of your best shots.
With this shot, I had an idea, and I'm probably going to try to shoot this again another day. But my problem that I had with this was I have this sitting down on the carpet. I do not like the carpet texture at all. Don't like it at all. And I started out with processing this thing inside of Snapseed and using the selective adjustments, I believe is what it's called. So I took this area back here and blacked it out, sort of gradually, just sort of blacked it out to make it darker, because over here you could tell it was dark, but then my carpet is such a neutral color, it looked like a shaded version of this side here. So it didn't quite give me the same, chiaroscuro effect that I was wanting, because I wanted to go from dark to light, and then maybe back to dark over here. And then when I figured out I couldn't get it to go back to darkness on this side, I just said screw it. I cropped it down and just made this side as dark as possible without really wiping out any little details with it. I purposely set this king down on its side because it is in checkmate, if you know the chessboard. But yeah, I had some fun with this one. It didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, and I appreciate people giving me those votes on it. But again, I started in Snapseed to work on some of the minor adjustments there, and then I pushed it into Lightroom Mobile, because there's some things that you can't do in Snapseed that you can do in Lightroom Mobile, such as adjusting highlights. I had to drop the highlights down just a tad because this particular pawn here, it was like crazy bright. It almost hurt to look at it because it was so bright. But I was able to adjust the shadows and the highlights, and it made it look a lot more subtle, but not totally wiped out in the shot. And then I went right back to Snapseed to give it one last look and then say, okay, I'm done. But that's my workflow on this one in particular. Like I said, anything I would have done differently on this thing, definitely I want to shoot it on a different area, but I still want to use the same sunlight, because this is all from the sunlight from a window. But Yeah, I'll try to shoot this again in the future and have a little more fun with it. What are your thoughts, Mr. King?
You could have put it on the carpet, but I would have put something where you hid the carpet, hid, because that does kind of, that's the only complaint. It does distract a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I
But
totally agree.
like put it on a piece of cardboard that, or have like a piece of cardboard that's pushed back,
Yep.
and that way it would kind of blend in a little better than you do it. But that's the only complaint. And since Sweetie's not here, he could have really given you the. But
Nah, Sweetie
you
might have
know,
been kind to me on this one.
but it's good. It's good as it was, but it just
He gave me a vote, so he might have been kind to me.
I voted for it. I think I voted for it.
Yep. Appreciate that, y'all. Yeah, that was a fun shot to try to pull off. And like I said, I look forward to doing that one again. So let's take a look at another highlight here. We'll go to our winner. Boom, boom. Her name is Nicole H. Nicole H. Yet again in the house with the beautiful photograph, dude. Can you believe this, man? She's so good. She's so good.
If it's not her, it's McClusker. If it's not
Yeah.
McClusker, it's one other who's a multi-time winner.
Yeah.
And then every now and then you'll see Robert, you, or
Mhm.
Sweeney.
I mean, these guys are very, very good. Nicole used a Galaxy S5, and she did her processing inside of Photoshop Express, adjusting clarity and so forth, like most of us does. And seriously defogged. I haven't heard that. You ever heard that? Seriously defogged, adjusted exposure down, yes, and increased the shadows, yes, and increased the highlights, yes, added vibrance, yes, and then she put her watermark on it because she's that damn good. But yes, Nicole pulled this shot off, and I didn't vote for it. Come on, there we go. That's better.
I voted for it. That's for sure.
I thought I did too, but apparently I didn't. So, but now there's my vote.
Vote for it now.
Yeah, definitely. But this shot here, as I was saying before we started looking at these photos, chiaroscuro doesn't necessarily have to be in black and white. I just found it easier with shots in black and white because having the blacks in the shot gives you a baseline right there to work with. But this is clearly shot in color, and I'm curious to know what is her lighting source. It almost looked like it's like through a window or a door, a cracked door or something of that nature. But it's dark into the light and then in back to the darkness,
right?
Just as it's defined.
And you don't have to be inky black either. It just has to be dark.
Just has to be dark. That's all it is. Dark to light to dark. Now, my only nitpick on it is the focus right there, which, I don't know about you, King, but when it comes to doing these macro shots, there are times when I want to get crazy close to an object, but the camera won't focus. And then so when I pull it back, it gets great focus, but it's not as close as I want. So I'm trying to get that happy medium, and sometimes I get this effect that she has. She's got all of these great details and texture of this, I guess it looks like a snail shell.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that is, but the texture of this object, and then it sort of fades away in the details there because she loses some focus there. And that's my only nitpick. It doesn't hurt my eyes, even though it's out of focus, but it's still a very, very good photo. I wouldn't do anything different on it outside of that. I wouldn't change the cropping on it. I wonder if she could have shot from this aspect down here, looking onto it, instead of starting and looking down onto it. I don't know. Curious.
Now, I tell you one thing that might help to keep it more in focus is get one of those like the micro lenses or macro lenses.
Yeah.
That would help, I think.
Well, and then not only that, King, just for me personally, when I battle with these shots, you have to be perfectly still.
That's
Perfectly
my
still.
that's my problem. I with all my problems I've been having with the heart and everything, my hands shake
Hmm.
a little bit,
Hmm.
and also I've had I've got the corporal tunnel that I'm trying
Oh
to,
yeah.
and I'm it's not bad, but it's enough where, but I just can't keep it still. That's why I love about these cameras that have the image stabilization.
Right.
But that's when you do macros, you have to be as still as you can, unless you have to put it on a tripod of some
Hmm.
kind.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only thing I have to agree with you on the. Even though the focus doesn't hurt, it 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 kind of adds to it, and you never know. She may have selectively blurred it a little bit.
You know, part of me would can can see that because of how it's sort of symmetrical with the blur. You
And
know what I mean?
if you notice, it kind of blurs on the bottom a little
Yeah. I
bit.
mean,
So
yeah.
it
It's
kind of makes you
really
wonder if she
symmetrical.
selectively blurred it a little bit.
You know, I prefer it to be a little more focused, but I could see if she chose to do that just because of the symmetry there.
Yeah,
That's
Nicole.
it's my two
Sometimes
cents.
can you put that shot in the group our group and tell us how you did it, please? That would
Please and
really
thank
help.
you. Please and thank you. All right. Well, that is our winning photo from the Chiaroscuro challenge. Um, Congratulations to Miss Nicole H for submitting yet another winning shot. I swear she wins like um, every one out of three that we do. It's pretty impressive. So that means, Nicole, when you can think of it, hopefully sooner rather than later, you can give us a new challenge for the community and just be kind, be gentle, for people like me that struggle with shooting great shots, and let us know what the challenge is, and we'll get the cracking on this thing. All right. So, Mr. King, I don't know if you heard, but Snapseed has been updated. Have you gotten an update on your phone?
Uh, if it's there, it has to be approved by Apple, and they are a little. They're slower in improving things than Google is.
Nope. Actually, it is already on iOS. It's out there. It's ready. It's even hit some of the Android folks. I haven't gotten it on my phone just yet. I look forward to getting the update. I've been checking for it and still nothing. I've had a couple other apps update today, but not that one. Now, I did see an
Okay.
APK file in our community, so if I want to just do a hack and sideload it, I could do that, but I'll
It
just wait for
just
that.
got updated about a few minutes ago. I got it.
Okay. What do you notice anything? What do you notice different about it? If you
I didn't
can
know it was
take a look at it
updated
real quick.
because let me go to it.
Yeah, just take a quick look. Supposedly the UI is totally different, and it
It
looks like you get
is.
a little more flexibility on some things. I wonder if we got some things in there like clarity and highlights and stuff like that. Now, with the previous update, they had added the shadows option and a couple other little fine tuning things inside of it, especially with some of the filters. But I would like to be able to see stuff like clarity or maybe even a denoising option inside of it. You see anything like that at your first glance?
It's a little different.
You don't sound thrilled though,
I'm trying to figure it out.
because
It,
when they
it,
change
it, it,
software, man, sometimes you start moving buttons around inside of apps and stuff. People get pissed.
yeah, they have changed a lot of. Yeah, they've changed a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah. Well, when I get my hands on it, well, actually, I'm wondering if anybody else in the community can put some screenshots in the community to show it off. If you can, pop them in there if you don't mind, and I'll keep
Okay.
looking for the update. That way, we can see it for an Android versus iOS version. Because sometimes the
Yeah.
UI is slightly different because of those two operating systems. You know, but we'll see. So I look forward to that. Was there anything else that you wanted to discuss this week?
I have a picture I was going to show off that I just took real quick. I believe it was Saturday. Oh,
Okay.
I first got it. I first got to go to screen sharing.
Okay.
And uh-oh.
You broke it.
Desktop. No, you're gonna get a little bit of a
Oh, recursion.
yeah. Now you see it.
Now we see your screen. There we go.
Yeah, just some flowers that I took at Mother's house. I just happened to be out there, and stuff was starting to get into bloom.
Tis the season.
Yep.
Now,
And
which of these? What did you shoot these with? The 6 or 6 plus?
the 6 Plus. That's all I have.
6 plus.
That-
Okay, I can remember which one you had.
I have the 6 Plus, and I
Okay.
used Pro camera
Okay.
because my hands were shaking too much to try the Hydra because you have to be pretty doggone still to take a
Okay.
good picture with that, and my hands were shaking too much.
Oh, okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Right, and stop. It said that, yeah, there it goes.
Yep, you're good. All right. I had some shots in there that I submitted. If I can find it real quick, I'll share those too. Give me half a second here, because I had a pretty fun time in Milwaukee this week. I went up there for a vacation with my family. Unfortunately, the missus couldn't go. We still had a
Mm.
great time. So I actually published it on my website. That's what I did. That's why I couldn't find it in the community, because it's on the website of mine, antpruitt.com, folks. So let's do a screen share. We'll click this little button here.
Boom. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think Ant just killed his screen, and he just locked up. uh, yeah, I don't know if anybody can hear me or not, or am I going through his stuff? Let's just see something. Google. Communities. Smartphone. I don't know if everybody can hear. There he is.
Hello.
You killed it.
Oh man, the network died again.
Oh,
Is this gonna be an every Thursday thing where I lose internet connection here during the hangout on air? Cheesy Pete's. All right.
I hope.
Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. Um, we're talking about being down on Lake Michigan, and there's just a lot of nice areas to walk around. So it had a lot of photo walks, if you will. And again, it's not showing the picture when I click on it. Why is that? Just do it that way. Just save the
Houston,
image.
we have a problem.
Save. So now let's do it this way. You see my screen now? I'm gonna
I
turn
just
that off.
see. There we go. I see some. Yeah, I see you again.
Okay, so now I'm gonna share this.
Okay.
Okay, now do you see that?
Okay. Yeah, I see that. Your panorama.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, this thing isn't getting any bigger or larger, if you will, because
It's
this is
fine.
it's actually a pretty big shot. But there's this nice little pond next to Lake Michigan that we walk near, and this is a view of the city. And it was a nice day out. You know, it was cold up there for whatever reason, because it's normally not cold up there this time of year, but just it was a very pretty day, man. And the only way you could tell that it was cold is because of the brown and sort of dead color of the foliage around there. Nothing's really green other than this little patch of grass right here. But I just wanted to stop and take a minute and try to do a nice panorama shot. And I like how this one turned out. I ended up throwing it into a HDR scape filter
It
and
looks
playing
good.
with it some, because sometimes that HDR scape filter will overdo some stuff and make it look a little too cartoony. But I think this one came out quite
It
nicely.
looks good. It looks good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm.
The only thing I don't like, and I don't know if anybody notices, is this tree branch that was in my way. I couldn't get rid of the tree branch. I probably could have done a touch-up tool, like a little cloning tool, but
Yeah, because I just see it. It looks like there's just something crawling in between.
like a crawling, right? It looks like a bug crawling on the lens.
Yep.
But either way, I was rather happy with that and enjoyed doing it.
It looks
All
good.
right.
I'm gonna try. I can't do anything this weekend. It's gonna be a washout because our weather is gonna be pathetic. But next weekend, if they say it's supposed to be really good, the blue bonnets will be in full bloom. And
Nice.
I'm gonna take both my 6 Plus and of course my SLR and take some good pictures of the blue bonnets.
Of course. I look forward to it. All right. Well, my man, we're going to go ahead and call it a night or a week for this here hangout on air. I'm going to allow you to tell everybody where we can find your work and your photography that you share online.
I can be found on Google Plus at Michael King 4023, and my main one I do a lot of uploading on, both with smartphone and my SLR is Flickr, and again it's Michael King 4023, and same with Twitter and Facebook. I will put up pictures in Facebook at times, so that's about it.
Okay. Thank you. Good having you as always. All right. And myself, you can find me here on Google Plus. Just look for the name Ant Pruitt, and you'll see a large, bald-headed black dude. That would be me. You can also find me on Twitter under the handle of Ant_Pruitt. And I have a YouTube channel, which is where this thing is going to be published. Just go to youtube.com/Ant Pruitt, and you'll see all of these videos and plus a crap ton more things that I shoot, whether it's just rambling, whether it's some things that I've done for a new domain, because I write for a new domain. I have probably 3 articles due that I'm supposed to give them right now, and I've been slack, so hopefully they forgive me. But yeah, I have my own website, antpruitt.com, and also I help keep the sites running for smartphone-photographers.com and the latest site, amazingphonephotos.com. Be sure to go and check those sites out. If you look at smartphone-photographers.com, you will see all of these videos in their little reruns, as well as an audio download for people that want to listen to it on the go, and other little tips and tricks and resources inside of that. Just flip through that page and you'll see all kinds of stuff. On the other hand, amazingphonephotos.com, that is just a gallery. If you go to that website right now, amazingphonephotos.com, and
Uh-oh. And is fading out again.
Facebook pages, like us on the Instagram pages, and we'll see you next Thursday about the same time. And thank you for watching. Be sure to click like and subscribe. And I'm gonna go before the internet dies. Thanks. Peace.
Okay, bye-bye. Now I won't shut off.